Hey, Omega.
Yes, good.
You know, the strangest thing in the whole world is that we've spent a good solid 14 days off. You know, just screwing around and whatnot.
Yes, that sounds about accurate.
Well, happy 2015 to everybody out there, but I discovered the scariest thing in the whole world.
Did you find naked pictures of Manchester?
No, close, but no. It's this show. It's called American Horror Story.
I must reiterate what Yankum said.
No, it's the John Cena is a Martyr show on Raw. That's the true American Horror Story right there. Let's start the show. Hey everybody, and welcome to episode number 145 of Wooo Get Serious. My name is Gunner, that is Omega BR, and yeah, apparently we're all fans of American Horror Story in here.
Yes, you can catch my in-ring debut at IPW as Martyr Janetti.
Oh, yes.
Are you sure it's on
those nights, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the one that's applauding like a fucking seal, and I got a joke about that later.
The animated seal?
No. Actually, all right, fine. I'll tell it. Penguin's driving down the street, and he hears a big thump in his car. So he pulls into a mechanic's office, and the mechanic's like, "Come back in an hour." He says, "Okay." So he goes over across the street because there's an ice cream shop, and he fucking loves ice cream. This fucking penguin loves fucking ice cream. So he gets his ice cream, eats his ice cream, comes back over, licks his lips, and he says, "So, what's the deal?" And the mechanic says, "Well, it looks like you blew a seal." And he goes, whoa, that's just ice cream.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Speaking of the hits, it's Nut Jester.
Man, they did not give you any help during that setup whatsoever. They made you face plant as hard as Red Machine D did when he fell off that DDR machine.
Speaking of cream...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, speaking of cream, we're going to get into a nice creamy section.
I don't get introduced. What is this?
I did introduce you a second ago before Manchester.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're not paying attention.
No, I was too busy. I was excited because guess who just found the mute button?
Oh, shut up.
Let's get some glowing.
Let's do the news.
Vanilla bean ice cream. Apparently, a lot of the much criticized promos from the Authority and Roman Reigns as of late have come straight from the mouth of Vince McMahon himself, who wrote the entire Raw script at 3 p.m. last week. There was a lot of divide within the WWE over whether Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns should win the Royal Rumble, and Triple H reportedly held another talent meeting, saying they aren't sure who will win. It's interesting to note that Roman Reigns, not Cena, is the last man featured in the new Raw Open. The decision to announce Randy Savage's Hall of Fame induction and the leak the news early to TMZ was made to help counteract the heavy competition of the College Football Championship. Speaking of which, the rumblings are that if Undertaker doesn't wrestle at WrestleMania, he may be inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. That last part doesn't surprise me. The College Football Championship was actually a really good game, and I caught Raw on a replay. But yeah, a lot of other stuff in here that we're not surprised about in old WWE.
Seriously? Really? Just before the show starts, you're gonna pull...
And you're getting pushed, beyond the moon and blah 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 blah, and they become the playthings of Vince McMahon. And when Vince writes things, sometimes it's really good when it matters. Otherwise, it's horrible. It is awful. It is just godlike, cringeworthy, stuff. And I think the biggest work of it all, and stop me if I'm wrong here, but I think the biggest work of it all is the fact that they sit on their ivory tower and they look down at Smarks and like other people that would, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon who's the Smark, and he's the one writing terror. Like if his storyline was in the storyline of was in a pool of 100 other storylines, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference at all, because I guarantee you there would be 50 of them in there that would sound exactly the same and equally as horrible.
Well, it's said for years one of the biggest problems is his lack of competition, or in his own mind, his lack of competition. Even if it's to the point where, I don't know how much I believe that, if Triple H stood up and said something and said, Vince, this is stupid. Not that I believe that he would do that, but, ultimately it is Vince who has the final word, and, I guess, I guess, I don't know what he's thinking. Competition-wise, he doesn't have it, so he thinks he knows what's best, I guess. You bring up Roman Reigns and, not having competition himself in terms of his personality, this whole I'm going to win anyway attitude that seems to kind of jump off the page. Whereas a guy like Daniel Bryan, who is very clearly the underdog and works hard and wrestles hard, and it's not just the yes chant, anyone who still thinks that would be very foolish. But to wrap it up here, I think they might miss an opportunity if Reigns and Bryan aren't the last two in the Rumble.
And then Bryan eliminating Reigns, because that would make the most sense right now.
Or someone else getting involved to eliminate Reigns. Honestly, I think a great WrestleMania direction for Reigns, who, keep in mind, has only been a singles competitor for about 3 months, if you don't count those months that he was injured. Or 3 or 4 or 5, so less than 6 months. Less than 6, let's call it that. I think a great WrestleMania direction for him would be to a feud with Rusev and maybe finally ending Rusev's undefeated streak.
That would be perfect, to be honest.
We wish that would happen. Unfortunately, I think I know what's going to happen, but I'll just leave that up to the stars and keep my mouth shut, because I hope it won't come to pass.
Speaking of things we hope don't come to pass, see what I did there? This is a good one. TNA will reportedly not be running any non-televised live events anytime soon to save money. Around 450 to 500 fans attended the Destination America premiere taping, getting upset at several production delays due to the Manhattan Center's control board going down, including one that lasted 15 minutes. The new Impact will reportedly have a heavy reality TV feel with the cameras everywhere, and while Kurt Angle will most likely end his wrestling career with TNA, there is talk WWE will still bring him back to be a legend and possible trainer on NXT. TNA has been making big money offers to secure Alberto El Patron, but he is also being courted by Bellator MMA and Lucha Underground. So we got a mixed bag of news there. You can't really fault TNA for the Manhattan Center's technical difficulties, their equipment failing.
Yes, you can, because let me tell you something about that equipment failing. There were at least 2 other promotions. I believe Evolve, I believe ROH, refused to run the Manhattan Center because of this exact problem. They had many problems before, and this has been an issue that has been ongoing for the past couple of years. Because TNA, took one look at this place and they chose it, it tells you exactly all you need to know about TNA.
So, real quick, the last time TNA taped in NYC, were they at this place or were they at the Hammerstein?
I think they were at Hammerstein.
So why didn't they go back to the Hammerstein? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the Hammerstein could have been booked.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility.
I've heard the general attitude for TNA is they still want to be an alternative. They want to be an alternative to WWE, but more importantly, they want to be an alternative to what they used to be. Which sounds pretty good on paper. But,
so what you're telling me is that it's alt? They want to be alt, so they want to be West? They want to be West Tube?
Alternative rock.
I thought we were talking about Time Tube there for a second, but okay.
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
I don't.
Now I lost my train of thought. You see what?
Sorry.
I don't know how I like the idea of. I don't know how I like the idea of a reality TV wrestling show. It's not working out real great for the Divas, but I guess it is what it is.
It is working out really great for the Divas because they're getting more screen time on that show than they are on actual WWE television, ever.
Right, but that show is terrible. I mean, you've got people eating fake weed brownies and freaking out, and then that's...
I think it was sativa that they actually ate. Or something like that. But anyway, okay, so an interesting fact, by the way. When Alberto said, no, a key no, TNA actually turned to Edge, and they wanted him to come on air and be the authority figure.
That would be an interesting twist, although, surely they had to have known that Edge would turn them down very quickly. They need to be going after guys, which, I mean, they do, but they need to be going after more guys that are not quite as married to WWE, like, I don't know, who's somebody who kind of is around, but,
there really isn't anybody, that's the problem.
Yeah, Yeah. Well, there are guys you could. There's nobody who's like a surprising name. You know, if Honky Tonk Man, for example, showed up on TNA, that's not really a thing.
The people would be like, who? Not a lot of us would be like, oh, okay, it's Honky Tonk, but...
Or it's guys like Van Dam, who, you know, again, he kind of... I mean, he's already... When Van Dam first showed up on TNA, I guess it was kind of a big deal, but now it's like, you know...
Whatever, yeah. Alright, anyway, we're going to move on here. Beginning January 19th, the WWE Network will be available in the UK for £9.99 a month, and Ireland for €12.99. Sky Sports are increasing the price of pay-per-views £5. WWE is adding old seasons of Tough Enough to the network and testing out virtual reality content. Many people in the pinball community were upset after it announced that WWE WrestleMania is the newest pinball machine to use a brand new system from Stern. I don't know why they'd be upset about it, but somebody else could explain that. After the high-profile departures last year of WWE talent contracts, now say if talent is fired for disciplinary reasons, mind you, they forfeit all merchandise rights and can't compete in wrestling or MMA for 1 full year. So in other words, if you, done goofed, you forfeit your rights to your money, and you can't compete for a year. Non-compete. Which, doesn't... I don't know how Punk was able to beat it, and they weren't, but...
Del Rio
lasts.
Apparently Del Rio did. In a way, he did. I mean, this is a new thing, obviously. This was post-Punk and post-Del Rio. But,
Sin Cara did it as well. I mean, didn't he immediately go to... I don't remember if it was Mexico or Puerto Rico, but he immediately went and just started wrestling for somebody else.
And I think he was even billed as Sin, or from WWE or whatever. But, that's kind of... it's them protecting their interests in a way, but it's also the fact that, if you have a situation like Del Rio's where it was sort of it was more understandable, Also, I think the network's actually already live in the UK and Ireland. I think they managed to get it up early.
Took them long enough. I mean, it's 40 days after they originally said it was going to be up?
I have to get back to these contracts. Really, it's bad enough we've got non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that. Now, a no-compete clause that will totally screw you over not only with other promotions, but appearing in MMA as well. I mean, for crying out loud, I think Vince is going, he constantly says we're not in competition with MMA, but then he goes and does something like this, and I just am thinking either, Vince really is in competition with MMA and he's lying for some damn reason, or, he's going down that long spiral staircase into senility or something.
Well, let's be honest. Vince has been going down that spiral staircase into senility for a long time now.
Yeah.
A really long time now.
Pretty much, I do want to say something about it also. By the way, it's the Croc.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest of a guest tonight. It's none other than You Smell What the Croc is Cooking. Go ahead.
It's been 3 years, man. 3 years since I've been on this. I'll tell you what, in regards to that year-long, you can't work for MMA or wrestling, any wrestling promotion in America, as a person who's getting into the business, that actually detracts me from wanting to go into the WWE. I would much rather stay independent, make money from there, and then try and get over to New Japan than go to the WWE. In case it doesn't work out, I get released. And, oh, hey, yeah, by the way, the thing you want to do, you can't do it for the next year, sorry.
Well, that's only if you get yourself in trouble there.
Yeah. We've been been talking about how it's funny how, a lot of independents feel just that way, that they feel they can make more money, they are more popular, they can build up their reputation better if they do not go to WWE. And in fact, you almost have to be as popular as a CM Punk type to kind of get away with that kind of, negotiation power, almost.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can see it right now with the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are one of the most hottest tag teams in the business right now, and they turned down a WWE deal. Joey Ryan mentioned on Twitter, he knows friends in the business right now, and not just Nat and Nick, who have turned down WWE developmental deals, even though NXT is really hot right now because you got Baylor, Owens, Sami Zayn, and everybody in there. They can make more money on the independents. It's mainly only, I'm with the WWE, I finally made it. That's the only reason people really want to go right now. New Japan's blowing up right now. Ring of Honor finally is sort of getting back on the right track. It's really detracting when you find out that WWE pretty much wants to have the tight hold on it when it's pretty much stifling what you can do.
Well, let's be honest here. The worst case scenario is, they let you go, and then you can go work at Sunglasses Hut with the TNA employees.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God! Please no. Listen,
we're still working.
7 things that are worse than that.
If I may, before we end this thing, point out the whole pinball thing. Apparently, Stern is like, when the pinball fad sort of crashed, Stern was like the top. Stern was kind of like the WWE of pinball. And now a new competitor, who is not quite TNA of pinball, has been coming out with new machines and has been incorporating a lot of modern stuff like USB compatibility and LEDs and this and that. And so apparently this WrestleMania table is the first Stern table to utilize their new Linux-based systems and have these flashy top-of-the-line LEDs and this USB deal and this and that. So basically pinball enthusiasts are upset that their first ultra-modern pinball table is WWE and not, something more classic, or because a lot of these pinball guys, they really buy these machines and they really, for $3,500 a piece or what have you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then again, you got in the business standpoint, it's great because it's cross promotion. WrestleMania is right around the corner. They can go ahead and say, "Hey, welcome to Access. By the way, this pinball table just came out. It's got Taker and everybody on it. By all means, go ahead and try it out. Maybe you like it."
Though. It's $3,500 though. I mean, not normal people are going to.
Yeah. That being said, yeah, I kind of wonder how many people. I think that's the other thing of it too, is they kind of think your average wrestling fan will think it's cool, but they won't necessarily buy it. And plus the fact, I can't even remember the last time I saw a pinball machine in public, except maybe at the old bowling alley, and it's been there for 20 years.
Right. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to live in a town where they have the Museum of Play, which is basically this kids museum full of toys and stuff like that, and they have a lot of pinball machines, a ton of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if that one actually made it in there. But I digress. Should we move on?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, please, before I make a Jodie Foster and the Accused reference.
Oh, please, Jesus.
Oh,
Booker T has officially replaced Jerry Lawler on the Raw announce desk. You can start clapping now. Which is a move officials have been wanting to make for a long time, but felt they couldn't due to King's heart attack. Until SmackDown's move back to Thursdays gave them an opportunity. CM Punk began training with his new camp in Rufus-Port in Milwaukee, and his coach says he is progressing well and dropping a lot of weight. WWE told Paper Cuts producers to remove Punk from all future reprints of the graphic novels they have released. And there are rumors that WWE is preparing to announce a licensing deal with MMA apparel company Tap Out. So what you're telling me is that there are going to be more douchebag shirts, only with WWE themes now.
I mean,
Fantastic.
it's not the best, but hey, tap out hasn't been relevant for how many years? Ever since Reebok signed that deal with UFC?
Pretty much.
Well, the upside, maybe now we'll be able to get WWE themed shirts at like Walmart or something.
Well, you already can.
Yeah, that's true.
There'll be more market penetration this way. So, how do we feel about Jerry the King Lawler? Is he just off of Raw, or is he going to be on SmackDown, or what's going on there? I don't know.
He's moved to SmackDown because they wanted him off of Raw for a long while.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a long. I don't want to say it's been a long time coming because that's sort of messed up, but at the same time, you can tell if you look over the years, especially the past 5, King's commentary has been slowly going downhill. You can say that adding Booker T adds a new element to it. I don't know if we'll get like Black Snow level of commentary. I highly doubt it. Honestly, when I was watching Raw, it really seemed like he wasn't there at all. It was mainly JBL and Cole talking, and then Booker T would shoot something real quick and get a laugh or a chuckle out of the both of them, and then just stay quiet for the rest of the show.
Well, it's going to take him a little bit to get into the rhythm of being a regular commentator on Raw, where he's got these two really strong personalities with him. JBL will just dominate any kind of conversation at all, so it's not surprising to me that he would be dominating over Booker. I think once Booker gets into his rhythm, he's going to be a fantastic addition. I'm going to miss Lawler, believe it or not. I love Jerry Lawler. I don't know why his commentary is terrible.
I wish that we could have Chet Lemon and Black Snow reunion on commentary.
Yes, for the love of God.
That'd be interesting.
From what Kevin Nash posted today, I don't know about that. I think he's in some hot water. I do want to clarify something real fast between the commentary teams. Yeah, Jerry is on SmackDown, but the pay-per-view commentary team will not change. It will always be Jerry the King Lawler, Michael Cole, and JBL there. It won't be Booker T there.
And Byron Saxton has joined the SmackDown crew as well, so I don't know if that was said or not. Anyway.
Yeah, and don't say penetration.
Yes.
You just did.
Let me read one. I haven't read one. Nick Jackson made a tweet alluding to an insulting offer Lucha Underground gave the team, although LU, if you want to abbreviate it, are still pursuing them, and several other familiar names, including Jim Ross himself, who they would really like to have as their pay-per-view voice for AAA pay-per-views. Speaking of which, Global Force Wrestling is in talks with AAA to potentially bring them to American pay-per-view, American traditional pay-per-view, that is, the same way they did for Wrestle Kingdom. According to Wrestling Inc., ROH COO Joe Koff is reluctant to use large amounts of money to bring in New Japan wrestlers this year, as the company barely broke even on the shows last year. However, Booker Delirious believes the partnership can be very lucrative in the long term, and has been wanting to do more of those super shows outside of the Toronto area. And rumor has it that Uhaa Nation has finally signed a deal with WWE, although there is, of course, no further confirmation.
And so here thus begins the Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Young Bucks conversation. So, from what I understand, the tweets that they were shooting out, basically, what they want from the WWE is this: $1 million each. That means $1 million contracts for both Nick and Matt Jackson. To sign with the WWE. This does not surprise me because they don't necessarily want to work with the WWE, but I wouldn't be surprised if later on down the line they did sign with the WWE for a compromisable figure of $750K each.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to see Matt and Nick in New Japan and the U.S. Indies for probably about another year and a half, 2 years, mainly until the Bullet Club faction and storyline is pretty much done. The only other thing, though, is you need to see where GFW plays into this. If they start putting together their roster, I wouldn't doubt that, Carl...
I don't know if GFW is actually going to put together an actual roster. It seems to me that they're pretty happy with putting on everybody else's roster and the GFW logo. Now, what would be really cool is if they had all of these promotions, basically, and they ran a pay-per-view almost every week, kind of like what we do. On wooo, basically, where each major promotion from around the world has their own, little shtick, and then you see a pay-per-view almost every week under the GFW brand with commentators.
Well, that would be expensive.
I saw this coming when they started putting together Wrestle Kingdom 9 and started bringing in everybody underneath that GFW banner. You're seeing guys from South Africa, you're seeing guys from Europe now signing on with a partnership with these guys. It's almost as if it's taking on an almost modern-day NWA type feel where you got a bunch of promotions underneath one big group, and they're trying to go ahead and say, hey, we're the alternative here to the WWE. We're where the wrestling really is. Watch us.
We are a true global force of wrestling.
Absolutely. You can see now, with them trying to go ahead and put a AAA pay-per-view on, I wouldn't doubt that it'll probably be AAA Mania that we'll go ahead and get on American pay-per-view. That would probably be the biggest show they can go ahead and do.
Of course.
Mania on American pay-per-view. I never thought I'd see the day, quite frankly.
With Jim Ross possibly there.
All right, and here we go. We're going to go with this last little bit here. Christian has been telling people he's not retired, and Lawler was mistaken. NXT diva Devin Taylor was eliminated on the premiere of The Bachelor. Scott Hall's son Cody was revealed as the Bullet Club's young boy at the New Japan event last week. Hulk Hogan says he's training rapper Riff Raff to be a pro wrestler. Former WWE writer and Big Dick Johnson, Christopher DeJoseph, revealed at the end of the Vince McMahon death storyline would be that Vince had faked his death to see where people stood, and that Vince apparently didn't like the idea of Mr. Kennedy/Anderson being revealed as his long-lost son. This does not surprise me in the least. All of these are pretty funny little tidbits, and Cody's Bullet Club's young boy. That's funny.
Oh my good! I saw that picture on Twitter, by the way, and I swear to you, I did a double take, looked at my tag partner and said, obviously you're lying to me or you're pulling a rib on me. This is not real. Then I saw the video and I said, why?
Because it's the Bullet Club. It's the hottest thing going right now. Why not?
Oh, absolutely. I love the Bullet Club. I have their logo as a background on my phone. I scratched my head a little bit when I saw Cody Hall there. I was like, okay, then, let's just add everybody now, I guess, right?
Well, in their defense, if he is meant to be a young boy, then that is effectively a rookie, right? If you're going to have a rookie in the group, you might as well have someone with that much name power.
I thought young boys were pre-rookies in training.
Yeah, he is still learning how to wrestle, how to get and what to do.
Don't worry, you'll see him in a couple matches, you'll see him in a couple matches in the pre-show or whatever.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt you'd see him before the end of the year on a show.
Okay, so shall we move on? Yankum?
Yes. Move along home. I think it's time for the 15-minute time limit.
And what is it going to be this week, Yankum?
It's going to be stuff that we missed over the last 2 weeks. Things happened.
So
some things
happened. important things that are relevant to to our wrestling sphere, specifically Wrestle Kingdom 9.
Sweet Jesus, that pay-per-view.
Did anybody here actually catch it besides Croc?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think, Omega?
I thought, I was going to make a snappy remark, but honestly, frankly, it really was a very well put together show. One thing I noticed first, once it was over, the first thought that came to my mind was, a lot of fans were kind of upset about this whole needs to be condensed into 4 hours or so for the pay-per-view format, but then, I didn't feel cheated at all. Some matches were probably shorter than they would have been otherwise, but you're talking about a lot of quality in-ring stuff, it's always kind of funny how we're at a loss for words when a show is really just that well put together that you can't really say anything about it other than it was pretty good. You can't really make any complaints. And Ross and Stryker on the commentary team. I will say that Ross seemed a bit shaky at first. He needed to catch his groove, but he certainly did once we started having these matches with guys he had talked to more and kind of had a bit of a personal flair to it. And naturally, as the card goes on, the matches will be a little more enthused and important in that respect.
Oh, absolutely. To put in perspective how I experienced the pay-per-view, I stood up almost the entire day, stood up the entire night watching this pay-per-view. I had my friend over, my tag team partner, and this was his first pay-per-view. He watched a little bit of Wrestle Kingdom 8 last year. This was his first full New Japan pay-per-view. Ross, once you got farther into the show, you noticed Ross started to come out a little bit more, got a little bit more comfortable. I especially noticed that with, and I'm going to say right now, that is the match of the year. I don't think anything can top it. Kota Ibushi versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That match made my tag team partner not only a fan of New Japan, but a fan of Shinsuke Nakamura right there. And I'm pretty sure that goes for everybody. I look on Twitter now, everybody loves Shinsuke now. Oh my goodness.
Nakamura. JR said it himself. The man's been described as a cross between Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, and a badass. And if that don't at least pique your curiosity into this man, I don't know what the hell will. That's an incredible combination of head-scratchingness.
Just the entrance alone, you could see how he moved, how he presented himself. He knew that this show was going to be the biggest show they could put on. So he didn't bring his A game. He brought the triple S plus A game. He was ready to kill himself in that ring. And you could see it in the match. Top to down, the show was incredible. But that match, there are a lot of people I would say Tanahashi and Okada was a great match, and that was the main event. But the show was stolen by Kota and Shinsuke right away. Here's my big question is, can New Japan keep the ball rolling? With the hype that they got with Wrestle Kingdom 9, and now it's about 2 weeks removed, everything's calmed down. What happens now? Do they keep the ball rolling? Do they keep getting more people? Do you see a lot of viewership for the Access TV show that they're about to put on Friday? If they can keep the ball rolling, I would not have a doubt in my mind that these guys would probably make a good bid for number one in the world by this time next year.
Oh, I can't wait to see the Access TV show. I don't know exactly how they're going to translate that or if they're going to run storylines on that or what's going on, but I'm just, after Wrestle Kingdom 9, I'm just hyped to see a weekly edition of NJPW here in the States.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see it when you're in Wutsu. You can see it when the New Japan pay-per-views are happening. Steadily more people are noticing it, not just on the board. Like I said, on Twitter, that was one of the most talked about things. I saw people that were watching Raw the day after Wrestle Kingdom 9 saying, screw Raw, I'm not about to watch this crap. I'm going to rewatch Wrestle Kingdom 9. That made me incredibly happy. That shot me through the roof.
All right. Now that we're going to mop up this the jizz off the walls after this NJPW circle jerk here, yank 'em.
Yes, Gunner. I forgot to hit the button. But yes.
I figured you forgot to hit the button. What did we miss that you wanted to talk about?
Well, not a whole lot. Because let's be honest, as much as has happened with Ziggler and them getting fired, and now Cena is threatening to take the ball and go home, I'm starting to lose interest again. As soon as Cena said, I'm going to win the title, I was like, well, yeah, obviously. And then he said, I'm going to take it, and I'm going home. And I'm like, we did this already. And Punk did this, and it was entertaining then. But now, not so much, because I'm happy with him going home. It's not really a threat to me.
It's a choice.
Yeah, we haven't had the title on for a long time because of Lesnar's contract. Well, if Cena takes the title and goes home for an extended period of time, I mean, isn't that, I've always thought it was a bad idea that we've had the title off of TV for this long. Hell, it hasn't even been defended on TV since I can't remember when.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that scarcity is a good
but
thing.
at the same time, it's not, it's not something you want to keep doing. No, you want to keep doing, and you want to keep as a permanent fixture. I think that it's kind of stupid, actually, that Brock has had it for this long. I can understand it. I can completely understand it. But at the same time, I'm sitting here scratching my head, going, well, Brock is either going to lose it at this pay-per-view, or this pay-per-view, and the next person to pin Brock not only will become the WWE champion, more than likely, but will be, he'll be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar, since the Undertaker thing, and that is a big deal.
It's not even going to be the first guy to pin Brock rather. It's going to be. I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Brock is probably going to lose it at the Royal Rumble via either Cena pinning Rollins or Rollins pinning Cena. They're not gonna have Brock, submit or be pinned.
Absolutely.
I'd actually like to suggest that Lesnar beating The Undertaker has been such a little deal that it's kind of depressing. I mean, it's an accomplishment, but it's almost like when they mentioned his NCAA heavyweight Division I championship. It's an accomplishment, it means something, but ultimately in the context of what they're talking about, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing. That's the really sad thing about it, because you built up 21 and 0. Oh, this is the longest streak in the history.
Practically the only thing in wrestling that really means anything, that really meant anything to anyone.
Exactly, and in fact, you know what, Yankum? If you and me were to go to Vegas, do betting odds, I would probably bet with you that Cena. I want to say Cena will probably get it, and I hate it, and it just digs me hard that he's gonna get that 16. But I don't see Brock holding that belt until WrestleMania. I really don't.
Well, no, because then how's Cena gonna fight with the belt at WrestleMania if Brock has it?
Okay, so let this little monkey here in the tree throw some wrenches at you. We are absolutely positive. Yeah, ook eek eek. We are absolutely positive that Seth Metal will not get this at Royal Rumble.
No. So remember. No. Stop, everyone. You have to remember this. When you're talking about Rollins and you're talking about the Royal Rumble, nothing ever happens at the Royal Rumble. It's the throwaway match. It's always the throwaway match.
The title match is the throwaway match.
Brock will retain.
I hope you're right, Gunner. I really do. I don't know. I can't.
I would be fine with him retaining, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to do something retarded. Maybe Cena does pin Brock, and then Rollins cashes in, and then takes the title after, I don't know, shooting Cena with a missile launcher. And
that is the worst possible situation that you could have come up with. Really the worst.
Well, here's the thing. The only possible way they're going to give Rollins a win over somebody like Cena is if he cheats, because nobody can go over Cena clean,
right?
Except for Lesnar.
That he's not going to win, and you're sitting here saying that Cena's going to win his 16th, and they're not going to make a big deal of it.
Oh yeah, this is going to be like Ric Flair getting that last title reign all over again. To add on to what Yankin was saying, you guys seen the Immortal, WWE Immortals, the new mobile game coming out that's like a cross between Mortal Kombat and WWE. They released Cena's Super Move video. Watch that. That's going to happen to Brock at Royal Rumble.
Oh, good God, no. They're going to start taking video game finishers and putting them in real life.
That's the only way.
Okay, one more thing real quick. There is a bunch of stupid stuff they could come up with to finish this match. Missile launcher. I'm wondering in the back of my mind when they're finally going to, because he said this once and I didn't take him seriously, but now I'm wondering. I can't remember when it was, but I think Paulie one time said that he wanted a storyline where he was carrying a taser or a stun gun or a little handheld thing and he could shock a guy with it. And while the ref's back was turned, I still haven't figured out why they haven't done that yet. But who knows? That could
because it's already been done. That's how the original streak. That's how Goldberg's streak was broken. Was I don't remember. I think it was Nash. Nash hit him with a friggin' cattle prod. To put him down, and then they took the title off of him. And then I think it was the next night or the next pay-per-view that the finger poke. No, it was the next night on Nitro. I think the finger poke did him, right?
I believe so.
So yeah, that's a way to ask for somebody to like you're advocating like killing the WWE. The WWE would be kill if they did that.
And
straight up kill.
For me, it's not the title match that matters right now. I think what everyone's going to be wondering about is who's going to win the Rumble.
And we'll talk about that in another particular 15-minute time limit coming up next week or the week after, I think. Whichever the preview show is.
Real quick, go ahead.
All right, that's it. That's it. We're going to leave it at that. All right, so I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Hot dog. Footlong hot dog.
Yeah, I bet you go on a footlong hot dog, not just.
Yeah, I was going to say, news came out today that the Eyes on Center are shutting down this month, by the way.
Weird. Alright, so let's do Dairy Queen Drive. Hey, Net Jester.
Don't talk and drive through at the same time. Whoa. Me? The rating? Really?
Nope.
Alright, I got it. Total Divas on January 4th got 1.41 million viewers, and on January 11th scored 1.26 million viewers. That is a fairly significant drop, but nothing that should ruin it for them, unfortunately. Impact was originally reported as a 0.46. Is that right,
That
Gunnar?
would be expected.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that seems low even for Destination.
No,
Okay.
that's exactly what you should expect.
A .46 cable rating with 263,000 viewers, beating Killing Bigfoot at 250,000. The replay averaged 105,000. However, TV by the Number reports a .1 for adults 18 to 49 rating with 359,000, meaning the actual total of 464,000. SmackDown on January 9th, it fell to a 1.68 rating. That's down 10% from the 1.86 the previous week. It was the lowest rating for a first-run episode since a 1.64 rating on Halloween, October 31st, which is usually when Halloween is, so I'm not sure why I'm reading that off of the copy. SmackDown averaged 2.432 million views, down 6 million. I don't know who's doing the editing. I didn't put it in the copy. Somebody else put it in there. SmackDown averaged 2.432 million viewers. Thanks, I was on the road to fuck me up. Down 6% from last week's viewership. Raw scored a 2.71 rating against the college football title game, only down 3% from last week's Raw, which is kind of impressive if you think about it. And the 1/5/15 Raw scored a 2.80 rating to begin the year, rebounding from 2.6 and 2.5 ratings for the final episodes of 2014.
All right, now, Jester, you get to do your favorite thing in the whole world.
And so,
Listen to the Croc do the birthdays.
Oh, okay, I'm fine with that.
Oh, really? I'm on it.
Please, Croc, because you have no idea how nice it will be for those of us who have been here this whole time to have someone read the birthdays that's actually literate.
One moment, absolutely.
Oh, come on. You just knocked off a bunch of birthdays from the line there. There, it's back.
I know. I was pressing my push to talk key, and everything started popping. I was like, oh no! Don't start now! Don't start now!
That's funny. That's the same thing that Jester's mom says to me.
That's me.
That's exactly what she says when she wads up a bit of newspaper and smacks you on the head with it after you ask, can I have another, please? So
That's just a birthdays.
My cat is more aplomb.
Alrighty, as for birthdays, first off, I didn't know this. January 15th, Bull Buchanan. Wow, happy birthday, bro! I haven't thought of that name in a long time. We got Eddie Graham, Kelly Kelly, and Shane McMahon on the 15th. On the 17th, we got Kevin Thorne and Chase Stevens. I didn't know Kevin Thorne was Mordecai. That's actually a good bit of trivia. I'm gonna win some money off that. The 18th, we got Harold Aguayo Sr., and also the $1 Million Man. Absolutely love Ted DiBiase and Pretty Boy Justin Idol. On the 19th, we have Ron Killings, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and this one hit really close to home. Oh, I hate seeing this name. On the 21st, we have the recently sabbatical from pro wrestling. Good old Alex Kozlov, one half of the Forever Hooligans, and I'm gonna miss him forever.
I thought it was Kozlov.
Oh, you got me. Damn it. I'm sorry. Along with Mr. Kozlov, we have Mrs. Mizanin, Marie Soyet, who has a birthday on the 21st also. The great, one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time, good old Pat Patterson, he has a birthday on that day too. We got the Polish Power, Ivan Putski, Go Shiozaki, Golden Boy, Arnold Skalen, and Nitro Girl Tyrus? What?
I don't know who decides who's allowed to be in this thing and who isn't. Some of these are questionable. You just roll with it.
Questionable. Croc, here's what they usually do to me. Not only do they make up names of sexually questionable activities and put them in there as pro wrestlers, I also got to decide whether or not if somebody's dead and we put them in there for like games and prizes and stuff. So I think you got off lucky.
None of that has literally none of that has ever happened. I don't even know what he's talking about.
He likes to say these things, and he likes to bring them up and likes to bring them up as fact, but it's like, we did it once to just screw with him. Like, we had one fake name in there once, and now he's still called.
It's okay. The fact of the matter is that they still got me. Because I saw Alex's name up there, and I just instantly cried.
Now,
It's called Inception.
This week in wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this week in wrestling history, circa 1970, where the missing link defeats River Collins to win the NWA Hawaii Heavyweight title in Honolulu, Hawaii, beginning Link's second reign and ending Collins' third. Jump to 1989, where Ricky Santana defeats Prof for the WWC World Junior Heavyweight title in Caguas, Puerto Rico. At the same event, the Ninja Express of Mr. Pogo and Kensuke Sasaki defeat Ken Castillo and Jr. and Miguel Perez Jr. to win the WWC Caribbean Tag Team titles. And in 1991, Jerry Lynn defeats the Lightning Kid, otherwise known as Sean Waltman, for the vacant Pro Wrestling America Light Heavyweight title in Findlay, Minnesota, beginning his second reign. And that was this weekend wrestling history.
Okay, happy trails to the friends and relations of independent wrestler Tim Roberts, who appeared as the Zombie in the first episode of ECW on Sci-Fi in 2006 at age 38. And also happy trails to the Azad Center, which may be closing as early as this month and demolished as early as March, meaning a move for this year's SummerSlam scheduled to take place there. WWE issued a statement saying they are looking for alternatives, and that will be as good or better. What should we watch this week in wrestling? Yankompedias.
Well, let's go back to an oldie but a goodie. Let us watch the final match of Nitro on January 4th, 1999.
January 4th? Final match of Nitro? Oh, okay, yes. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I was about to say the final match of Nitro was in 1999, bro. But what was the final match of Nitro in 1999 on January 4th?
It was Hulk Hogan versus Kevin Nash.
Poke.
Yep. Alright, and Nat Jester, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Well, once more, I'm going to go back to the Christmas present I got from my sister, the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, The Life Story of the Dragon DVD 3-disc set. And I'm going to take the no disqualification match for the WCW World Television Champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus none other than Stunning Steve Austin at Clash of the Champions 20, September 2nd, 1992.
All right, and the clock.
Let's see, the match this week. I'll tell you what, I just got done watching this. The main event for this week's NXT, actually, Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville, was actually pretty dang good. Not as good as the TakeOver Evolution match that they had, but it was right up there. I had my friend popping for it the entire night.
Omega VR.
Well, as you may or may not know, Big Japan Wrestling, DDT, and Kind-Type Dojo usually have a big New Year's Eve shindig. So if you could possibly find that, that would be nice. I believe this, in the past, they've had such gimmicks as the 144-man tag team match, and the 30-person, 30-promotion Royal Rumble. I believe this year it was a tag team tournament, which features such names as Antonio Honda, Jackie Nozawa, Daisuke Sekimoto, of course. So why not look that up, if you please.
And this week I am actually going to tell you guys to watch the 2005 Royal Rumble match. You know why? Because not only is Cena and Batista getting their huge pushes to begin their superstardom, Vince McMahon blows out both of his quads when he runs into the ring.
Thus producing the greatest GIF of all time.
Here.
I hope somebody else remembers that, because that shit's funny. Alright, so that it? Are we done?
Well,
You got any
the plugs.
Alright, let's do some plugs. You can check us out on smarksnark.com. We are, all up on Spreaker, live on Spreaker right now as I am speaking. Hello, Spreaker fans. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/smarksnark. You can check out our website, and you can check out a bunch of other stuff on there, smarksnark.com. There's our Twitter.
Facebook.com/smarksnark. Twitter.com/smarksnark. Email us at smart.
Mike Tyson all of a sudden.
I have no idea what.
I don't know what's happening. I guess I'm just tired. You can email us at smarksnark@gmail.com. If you're interested in being on the show, you're part of a promotion, you own the promotion, you wrestle in the promotion, you once was in high school wrestling, and now you're... I don't care. Like, if you just want to be on the show, you can either just hop in here, or if you want to book with us, it's booking@smarksnark.com.
Or just smarksnark@gmail.com. That could work too.
The booking goes to a special folder, and when you look, and there's a folder in Gmail, and it says booking, and then you just click that, and then you know, and it doesn't get buried in the junk.
Do you see how many times I check the email?
Well, that's because I do everything.
Exactly. That's the point. And you guys can check us out also on WestTube, because I like to be there a lot. Because, alt.
Yeah, there's an entire story behind that we'll get into some other time.
Yeah, let's not do that here. That requires a few shot of jacks.
Alright, everybody. We wish you well in your past, present, and future endeavors.
Gong the bell slowly. Or is that the ring bell, or is that something else?
Shut up, Swearface.
Good night, Fridley.
Bye!